What's up, guys? It's Josh.
And Kim.
And welcome to the first installment of After the Kids Fall Asleep. So, we were talking, and I kind of just wanted to... we were talking about just maybe recording a video and just kind of talking about the season of life that we're in right now. And usually just in this season, after we put the kids to sleep, we have an hour or so to talk and do all that stuff. So we both prepared some questions. I don't have mine because my phone is behind the camera, but I remember mine. But okay. Do you want to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Or you can go first. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Oh, sorry. So my first question is, how do you feel about soon having 3 babies?
I'm excited. So if you're watching and you don't know, my wife is pregnant with our 3rd baby.
Yes.
So just a recap. Again, we haven't posted a video in a long time, but recap. We have our son JB, so we've been married since 2017, March 26, 2017. And so that makes it 6 years. 6 years now. 6.5. And we had JB in 2019. He's going to be 4 this coming month. And then we have Emery Rain, beautiful princess. She is 2.5.
Yes.
And then now we have
we're not saying the name yet.
Baby boy. We have baby boy on his way, and timing, he should be coming up. He's due October 15th. 12th. October 12th. Sorry. He's due October 12th. So that is the season of life that we are in right now. I'm really excited. I am a little bit nervous just because, going from, we've had JB and Emery and worked with them for the past 2.5 years. We've been, building our schedules and our routines and everything like that, and everything's kind of get shaken up. But I think as with every stage in life, like before we were married, I was like, I don't know how it's going to be after we get married. But like once we got married, it's like, I don't even really remember how it was before we were married. And then like once we had JB, I don't remember like what life was like without him, because it's just so like special. And the same thing we have Emery. It's like you don't even remember kind of what it was like, because that just becomes the new normal. So I'm excited, and I'm as ready as I can be. Yeah. We still have a lot of stuff to do, putting baby stuff together and all that, but I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah. My first question I had for you, again, I'm trying to remember them because they're on my phone, but it is, what are you most excited about for having our baby?
What am I most excited about? Obviously meeting him, but I think like seeing the kids JB's a big brother already, but like seeing them with their baby brother, because Emery, I know she's gonna be such a mommy to him, and then JB's always talking about, I can't wait to wrestle him, but obviously when he's older,
he doesn't get it yet.
Yeah, but I think seeing how they're gonna be, seeing Emery, how she's gonna be as a big sister, and then just seeing JB now be a big brother to his sister and his brother. I think they're going to do really good. The same, like you said, like routines are going to change and figure it out. But yeah, I think just obviously meeting him and then seeing them be.
So you're like excited for
like
seeing them step into that stage.
Yeah.
Especially for Emery too, because she's never had like.
I feel like she's going to be such a mommy to him. Like, she feeds me right now, and she'll be like, do you like it, baby brother? And I'm like, oh, he loved it.
Yeah. So. And she's always carrying around a baby, and she's just always taking care of them. And she'll be like, no, you have to be gentle when you feed
Yeah.
them. But
Yeah, she's really. So I think both of them.
mhm.
I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah. You want me to go again, or you have another one?
I have another one. They're all pretty much,
They're all about
except
this,
for one. But I'm
newborn
gonna.
baby season.
Well, you kind of answered one because I was saying how are you gonna feel about figuring out a whole new routine. Like,
Okay.
kind of already answered that. I mean, but I was gonna say, how do you like parenting so far?
It's tough.
So,
It's tough, man. Like, it's crazy. You never, like, I feel like as an adult, you're always like, oh man, my parents were so this, or my parents were so hard, or they were not that hard, or they should have told me this, or they should have told me that.
yeah.
And, you know, we do all that from our experience. But then as soon as you have a kid, it's like, it kind of goes out the window because you're trying to guide this little human and, like,
Figure out their
personality and, like, you know, things that you would think work don't work. And, you know, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I remember being like, you know, our kids, I mean, well, you especially were always like, our kids are never going to have a tablet or a phone in their hands and all this stuff. And there's like, sometimes it's just like the most convenient thing.
Whatever helps.
Well, we really try not to, but
like if we're out eating,
yeah,
sometimes
or
we're
like
like,
sometimes in
we want
church,
to eat.
yeah.
So let's just
Yeah.
put the show on.
Yeah. But, no, I love parenting. I love being a dad. And, like, it's crazy how, like, the different stages, how I've kind of, like, gone through it. Because, like, with JB, it was very, like, you know, he's my boy. And, like, just learning. He's our first. So he's, like learning how to be a parent with him and everything. And then, like, with Emery, I really did feel, like, a disconnect with her for a long time. Because, you know, she was in the NICU for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. And, like, that whole time, I was, like, still at work. So it was, like, it really didn't even feel real to me.
Yeah.
Even though we were like going,
her,
but it was so
yeah.
chaotic. We were going and visiting like anytime we could. But it was just so weird. And then when we actually had her home, I just felt like she was so close to you that, you know, like she always just wanted mommy, mommy. Like, oh, I mean, once she could talk, she was just like mommy, mommy, mommy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got COVID and I was home for like almost 2 months. It was like a month and a half. I was out of work. I had got hospitalized, and then after they put me out of work for a certain amount of time, and I think that was not last year. That was in 2021, at the end of 2021.
Yeah.
And like I kind of got to just spend time holding her all the time, and like. And yeah, while I was recovering while I was recovering, I was getting to hold her all the time and waking up early with her, or like, you know, all that stuff. And I really enjoyed it. And now she's my little mama. She's daddy's girl. I was
attached to the hip right now.
I go, whose girl are you? She goes, daddy's.
Yeah.
But I love parenting. It's tough though, man. It's like it's
You're
so hard.
answering all my questions.
Oh yeah,
I'm just kidding.
It's okay. We're just talking.
That's fine. I know. It's funny.
But man, it's different too. Just being like a younger parent, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, some of our friends are a little bit older and they may be in like a similar stage of life, but like, you know, a lot of our friends are, or like a lot of our old like friends that we grew up with and stuff are like not right here.
Yeah.
So it's just like trying to navigate it without having a lot of examples to follow. It's like you feel like you're like trying to do it, or what do you think? I don't know.
No, yeah, I get it. I mean, it is hard because you have to, like we said, we can parent JB a certain way and it works, and then it may not work for Emery because they're different, you know, with certain things, obviously. But yeah, I would say, I mean, parenting is hard, but we're getting it down.
I know, yeah. Sorry if we start yawning. It's 9:30 right now, so the kids fell asleep.
We sound old.
Well, no, yeah.
It's 9:30.
Yeah, no, we were trying to put them to sleep early tonight just to because they had like a crazy day, so we figured they were gonna. But
they still took a while.
Yeah, they still took a long time to fall asleep. But okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What scares you most about probably this next season once we have our baby?
What scares me most? being real honest here. I'm just kidding. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
All the time.
What scares me most? I think... maybe just... I think I'm hard on myself. So, like, just finding, like, the right balance to give each of them, like, attention, you know? Because obviously the baby's going to need a lot of attention, but, like, not that I would, but, like, disregard their, like, maybe JB and Emery too, like, they can be excited as well, but, like, who knows, it could be hard for them as well. So just, like, giving them that attention that they need at that time. So I think just giving...
like trying to find balance, but also not be hard on yourself. Because I feel like you were for a while too, just really hard on yourself.
Yeah, and I am. I think obviously you realize that like the first kid is gonna have probably the most attention they've ever had because it's just them.
Yeah.
But then like, you know, finding that balance, like even when we had like Emery, I felt like JB was still little, so it's like we didn't even I think just like that, like we didn't realize sometimes we were a little bit hard on him, and then we like look back at videos and we're like, oh my gosh, he was like barely talking, baby, like, and we would be like we would think, I think because we know our kids are smart, you know, so we would be like, well, you need to understand, like, you know, you can't. So just being like that, like aware, like, you know, giving them attention that they still need. And I think like, let's say during your time off, like your baby bonding time, like just, I don't know if it's scared. I think it's more like us like not getting so frustrated if we haven't slept, and then they're a certain way, and then the baby's a certain way. So it's like, I think just figuring out, like, I'm like, I don't want to be scared. Like we're both like frustrated and like no sleep, and then the kids are like some way, and then he's some, hopefully, I mean, it's not.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's definitely been nights when I'm like, you know, we're trying to get them to sleep in their beds and stuff like that all night, and it's just like, getting up, like, go to sleep. But it's like, you know, they don't know, you know, and even this, like, as we're talking, it's like you kind of self-assess as you're talking and like realize like, oh man, sometimes we are not so much hard on them, but just like we expect a lot from them. Yeah.
And like even like right now when we're like, sometimes we're like, just go to sleep. It's like, I realize like I can't even go to sleep unless I'm watching something, and then I fall. Like I can't just lay there and be like, okay, I'm gonna sleep.
I know, she can't go to sleep unless she's laying on me watching something. Yeah. And I have to lay there until she falls asleep, and then I roll her over so that I can go.
Whatever works. So yeah, I would say probably that. Like just, I think the balance of everything and us figuring out like to balance each other out. Like, hey, you might need a little minute, so I'm like, okay, let me take all them or entertain them. I know. I thought I was gonna be yawning.
I feel bad because I just yawn a lot, and like in church, I always feel bad. Like I feel bad, like because I'm just sitting there and I'll be like eyes deadlocked with whoever is preaching, and I'm like.
I'm like, at least cover your mouth, so they're not like.
I'm not trying to be, but I can't help
today it. I was like, I saw you and you started yelling. I'm like look down or something, so they're not like, okay, this guy thinks my message is boring or something.
I don't even realize it, to be honest.
Yeah, so I would say that's probably. See. Well, you kind of like my next question. I felt like I said, what would you say is the hardest when it comes to parenting? Like, what's the hardest thing about parenting, maybe?
The hardest thing about parenting? I mean, it's all hard. No,
I mean,
it is hard.
But
and like, see, we're not even, it's not like we're experts or anything like that. We're still figuring it out.
This is for us, yeah. Like, this is what's hard for us.
Yeah. So I think for everybody it's probably different. You may have a different situation.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like trying to navigate our kids' feelings, but still trying to like instill the characteristics that I know are gonna make them like good people.
Yeah.
And good kids. You know what I mean? Like there's as people, we're always judgmental of, like, you know, if you go out and somebody's kid is throwing a tantrum or whatever.
Don't be judging my kids. I'm just kidding.
But, like, you know, you're at the store or whatever, and I know she will cut you.
I will.
But, like, you know, we always, like, see these things. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, I will not have my kid acting like that or whatever. But, like, you're infusing, like, the way you were brought up, or, like, the things that you would rather have not seen being brought up, and trying to put that into their life, but, like, they're not us, so it's like, you know, you have to navigate it completely different.
All about figuring it out.
I know, it is so
every
hard.
question if you
But like,
think
you know,
about it.
I think, like, to get specific, I think with JB and Emery, just like, they are both sensitive in their own ways,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, sometimes, you know, JB, I can just like no,
Yeah.
and it's just like immediate tears, and he's just like so hurt.
Yeah.
So, like, trying not to hurt their feelings, but also not letting them just, like, do whatever.
Yeah, that is hard.
You know what I mean? Like, having to explain to, like, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, like, why you're saying something or why you're doing something.
Yeah.
I think that's, for me, that's the hardest part.
That is hard. And I also think it's hard, like, we're in this phase where we're trying to teach them, like, just because we're talking to you doesn't mean you're getting in trouble. So sometimes they automatically think they're in trouble, but we're like, you're not in trouble, we're just talking to you. So just kind of instilling that in them, like, we want communication, so we're just trying to teach you. Doesn't mean you have to cry. Well,
Yeah.
nothing happened to you. We're just
I know.
trying to tell you, hey, don't do this or don't do that. But that is hard.
Okay. This leads to my other question. What, in your opinion, what is one, like, quality or, like, something that they do, good or bad, that you know they got from me?
Good or bad?
Well, don't say the bad ones.
I know, I was like, well, the bad ones are, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just trying to think. Let's see. Good qualities, right? You said.
Yeah, or like a quality,
Not
or maybe
bad-
just
I know,
like
not
something that
bad,
they
but
do,
just-
like
I'm trying-
maybe just something that they say or something that they do. I don't know, something like that.
Let's see.
Nothing.
No,
That's
it's not
okay.
nothing. I'm like, I have two in my mind, but I don't know if it's.
What I'm
Yeah.
asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just go ahead.
Because it's not a like, I like that our kids like to, like, do stuff. Like, I don't know how to, like, for example, like, JB, like, he doesn't even go to work with his dad, but, like, he's seen you work, like, what you do, and he's, like, very, like, oh, like, he pretends like he's at home, and he's, like, pretends he's, like, on the phone, and he's, like, oh, did your water, you have a leak or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that's like, it's a...
Yeah, I would say
So I was like, I don't know if I'm answering.
Not really a
your-
quality, but that's what I meant. Like something that they.
Like, he does that a
something
lot,
that they
like,
do
even when
that,
he's
you know,
not
they got from
here.
me. Yeah.
Like, so his dad works in the water industry, so, like, we'll be here at home while he's at work, and he's, like, has this pretend work phone, and he's, like, having a full-on conversation, like, if somebody's calling him to go out to work, and he's like, okay, I gotta go fix it, and then I'm like, okay, like, go fix it, and he, like, he has a full-on outfit, too, like,
yeah, he memorized my coworkers' names, and he'll say, like, okay, I'm getting, and he'll say their names,
their
like,
names, yeah, so, like, I mean, it's a good quality, because he's, like, he sees that you know, like, obviously that you work, but, like, even though he's not, like, we've been out there maybe once, twice,
yeah,
and obviously when you're at home, so I'm like, it's good that he, like,
yeah,
he really mimics everything, like, that you do with that. With Emery, let me see, little baby girl,
I know.
she likes to eat. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she does. She's a little
that's
eater.
not a...
No, her quality. I think. Well, going on that topic, she does not like fruit.
Oh yeah, like Josh does not. Like, me and JB will eat fruit. Like, I love fruit. Emery will not. Like, you put a
Like,
watermelon to her lip, and she
I
has
touched
like
her
the
lip
most.
with a watermelon, and she was like throwing herself back. And,
I'm like, Emery, it's, if anything, this is like a sweet fruit. Like, I'm not trying to give you.
but you give them medicine, and they'll like.
She's like, oh, I like it. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. I mean, that's like, but yeah, that's something that I would say.
Yeah.
there is like qualities. I just at the top of my head, I'm like,
yeah, I know. I was trying to be a.
That is a good.
I was trying to hit you with one.
Well, you got me because I'm like, I don't want you to think, oh, she doesn't eat fruit, but she does stuff.
I think if I were to answer the same question, probably, I think they're both like, they're both empathetic. So like if they see somebody, like, or like one thing I noticed with JB from like really really young, like when he was first being able to talk, like if he would see a picture of like in the book or whatever, he'd be like, why are they sad? Yeah. What's wrong with them? Did something happen? And like it's like, how do you even like, get that? And like Kim's really empathetic, like, just being really sensitive to like how people are feeling. Don't get me wrong, she's pretty gangster too. So, but like, at times.
Oh, yours are good.
No, that and then they'll both say this, and they get this from her. I don't know if she said it, but like sometimes I'll come home and I'm like, I've been busy all week or whatever, and like I'll be home and then like I'm trying to get things done in the house, and then I'll be like doing stuff, and then they'll be like, we just want to spend quality time. Let's just be with us. And I'm like, you sound exactly like your mom. Like, so funny.
It is crazy just what, like, even if we're just talking, like, they grasp every little thing we say, because they'd say a lot of things that I say, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I say that a lot. I didn't realize it.
And all the things that we tell them not to say. No. What the heck?
Dang it.
Dang it. All the things we're like, stop saying that. It's Kim all day.
I do say dang it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I even changed to saying darn, like before we had kids, and then they say dang it and then they still copy you.
Yeah.
I had a bonus question that was not about
the
babies or the kids. Okay, you want to go first? Kids. Okay, go.
Oh, you look like you were ready.
No, you go first because I've been asking. I feel like I've been hogging the mic.
No, that's fine. So I said, so far in the 6 years that we have been married, what would you say is the best memory you have of us two? But us two, just so you knew, it was just about us.
Yeah, the best memory of us two. There's so many. So many.
That's a good way to put it when you're like trying to think so hard.
No, not even that. Honestly, I'm
all trying to think too. I'm like, what is the?
No. I think I have one just like experience based, and then one like
both?
yeah. I kind of that's what I kind of want to do. So like experience based, I think it was our honeymoon, because like it was just so fun. We haven't really got to go on like a proper vacation. Like we've gone, like a lot of our vacations is like just going to like LA just to be like with family. Yeah, or we went to Chicago, but you were like super pregnant, and you were like dealing with like your
so much different.
Yeah, she was dealing with a bunch of different stuff, so it was just like not a great time as far as like experience wise.
I couldn't eat, so
it's just like all that. But I think Hawaii was like super fun, just because that was the first time like as a married couple we were getting to just go out, live, have fun, like do our own thing and plan out our own days, and just like be like free, and just like we were just driving together and like walking everywhere, buying food, and just like trying different things, like
buying a lot of hot Cheetos.
Yeah, she was in the ABC stores like every day getting ice cream and hot Cheetos. Doing the luau and like dancing. Like I got called up on stage to to dance by myself.
I just went just because, but
yeah,
didn't call me out.
But like that was really fun experience. That was probably the most fun experience. But I think honestly, like when we moved over here the first time in 2017, I think that was like a big relationship building time for us, because it was like we really like there was people who were like supporting us out here, like helping us and stuff like that, but we really didn't have like a very strong system. And like sorry, I've been looking at you the whole time. But we didn't really have like a super strong system, so it was a lot of just like me and you all the time. And like we would even make jokes about it all the time because people would be like, oh, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that. And I'm like, I want to hang out with my wife, dude. And like,
and we were just married too.
Yeah, we had
so
only been married for like 6 months when we moved over here the first time. So we went through everything. We went from like living in a town where we didn't know like anybody, and then like changing jobs twice, and then we were like we were having trouble finding a house, so we had to stay with somebody. It was just like so much. And then we got like our place and just like feeling like that sense of like being together again and like being able to build. I think that was like a really cool time in our marriage. That was just me and you. Obviously we've had times like since we've had our kids where we've like reinvigorated that and like reinvigorated like our like reliance on God and stuff like that. But I think that time was like a really good building moment.
No, it is. It was. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think back. Like
that,
I mean, that was 2017 was 5.5 years. Oh, I mean, back then it was like 5.5 years ago. So that was like it was like a whole like 4 or 5 months where we were just like all over the place.
Yeah.
That was just crazy. Mm-hmm. That's like when we started making YouTube videos, though.
Yeah, because we
like
all the time together.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like working, and we kind of got off. Not the same time, but like around the same time or whatever. So.
Yeah, it was just
crazy
different.
To think about. Yeah,
it's crazy to think back like when you were working and like when you had no, but like you know what I mean. Like I know you work 24/7 with the kids. Like her job never ends, and I think being with the kids is harder a lot of times than being at work. But like it's crazy to think back before we had the kids. Like you were just like in the work world, and like you didn't have this thing that was like always had to take care of, you know.
But yeah, that was a building. Yeah, because like new town, new jobs, figuring out house stuff, and it did. But we do have, even though it was like probably like kind of a hard, like just because of the situations, like it's funny to think of our stories, and it's like, I mean, it's part of
we would go to like our storage unit just because we didn't like want to be a bother to anyone. We would like go to our storage unit and like get a Little Caesars pizza and like watch Netflix on our phones or the iPad and just like sit in the car and just eat pizza. It's like, those are like good times. Yeah. Or we would go and park in front of Cold Stone and like get an ice cream and just sit there and watch something like just chill in the truck or something like that.
That's so funny. Now it's funny.
Yeah, now it's funny. It wasn't fun at the time.
Yeah.
But okay. My bonus question, I guess, was what was the first like characteristic or like thing about me that like attracted you when we were thinking back to when we were 13 years old, 16 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. It's funny because we'll say a long time ago when we're around certain people and they're like, we've been married for like 50 years.
A lot of the couples in our church have been married for like 35, 40 years. It's like different. But for us, it's a long time. You know, 16 years ago, that's more than half of our life.
That's crazy. What was your question? So what was... I'm not technical. I'm just kidding.
So I was like, what would you say is like the first thing that... like
caught my attention?
Yeah.
Honestly, and I know this is like such a... Well, because I didn't even know who he was, obviously, because he went to a different church. Because
I'm somebody.
No, you went to a different church, but you had come to at the time I was going to a Spanish ministry, and you and your sister came to sing, and honestly I felt like just hearing you sing, like I was intrigued, like I was like, oh, and it's funny because he sang in Spanish. I didn't know he did it in Spanish, but then I think I also saw you like, because we had like a prayer room. I felt like you were in there. I wasn't praying. Like, just kidding. I was like, oh, who's this?
I was acting real hard. I was like, no.
No, I think, I felt like just you doing worship.
You're talking about like when they had that 24-hour prayer?
No, in Spanish. I feel like I thought there was like a prayer before service.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, oh, obviously it wasn't like a big church. So I was like, oh, who is this? You know, But then I didn't know you guys were here to sing, and then you sang, and I was like, oh, even more so. Like, okay. Plays the guitar and sings. What? And he's tall.
And that was so bad too. Like looking back at it, I remember.
Yeah. I just kidding.
It was so bad.
See what
like
love does to you.
I literally did not like the pronunciation of like half the words were probably bad. Like when
You're
we were
better
singing.
now.
Yeah. I've. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's
It's
like
crazy.
way more stuff now, or like
Yeah.
as we went. But like, I think that was the first. We were young too. I was probably like
13. Yeah,
like
13.
I wasn't like.
Yeah, because we met when we were 13.
And I was like, "Who's this kid with this red backpack like, all the time?"
Yeah, I did always
like,
wear.
what does he even have in there? Well, I know it's not books.
No, what was I say? Oh, do you think it's crazy to think like, if that was like the first thing that you like saw or was like, you know, kind of caught your attention? Is it crazy to think now that like we've gone to like Mexico, you know, like we've gone into, you know, Tijuana and Ensenada and we've sung in Spanish together, and like we've also sang at like other churches in Spanish, and like
it is crazy to think about now. Like, it's not like if I think about it then like, oh, I'm gonna marry this guy one day, we're gonna sing worship together. Like at that moment, you know, it's not like that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because like even right now, I mean, even right now we serve in worship and we're usually together. But I mean, like I was just thinking about that. Like I just thought about that right now because it was in your Spanish church at the time, and it's funny how we even got asked to do that because. Again, like me and my sister don't speak Spanish,
and you guys didn't go to that,
and we didn't go to that church.
Like,
what happened was
one of the pastors
that had just come back from Mexico was asked to preach there, and he asked us because he knew that we had just gone to Guadalajara like a couple months before, and he asked us to sing. So then we just went with him and we sang.
It really like makes me feel like what a small world. Like just how it all happened, because I'm like.
Yeah.
And like Spanish service, so, you know, it's not even like, you know, the main is like, oh, English.
Yeah.
It's like you guys came to the Spanish church or whatever at the time.
It's just God putting us together.
Yeah, I felt like obviously there's more as it went on, but like I think the first was like, oh, who's this person? Because I'm like, we didn't have like a lot of people. I don't even know how many, but that was a good one.
Thanks.
I was like, yeah, that is crazy to think now. Like,
I don't mind.
What is yours? Yeah.
You're hot. You are.
My curly hair. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I don't even think it was like your curly hair or anything, but like obviously the first time I met you was so like I didn't talk to you at that.
I don't even think we talked.
We didn't talk that day.
I think it just left, and that was it.
Yeah, and we just left because I didn't know anybody from there.
And I didn't even think anything of it. I was just like, okay, well, like that's that.
But not long after that, or like around the same time, I had started going to the youth group that you were at, and then I didn't know any. Well, I mean, I knew a few people there, but one of your friends, like I had worked with her dad, and she was like, "Oh, Josh," and she had like introduced us.
Yeah.
And then I felt like really quickly we just started like talking.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like trying to think. I remember that like,
because
her saying, "Oh, hi," and then I was like, "Hi," but
because literally it was like that week, and then I think like the next week we were like hanging out playing air hockey together, like.
Yeah.
But.
Gosh, that makes me feel
but obviously, I thought you were beautiful, and like my little 13-year-old self was just like, oh. but I think, like you're just like you were like different, you know what I mean?
I'm just kidding.
No, you were though. Like, you're just like different.
Face that I couldn't.
No, yeah, you're just like different, and then, it's funny though. We were talking about that the other day because I was like. Because you don't really wear your hair like natural anymore, but that was like one thing that I would like. That was like a descriptor that I would use for you when we were like younger. I'd be like, oh, like you know the girl with the curly hair, like when I would tell other people like, or if I was trying to be like, oh, the girl I like, she's like over there, the one with like the curly dark hair, and then you were red for so long. So like seeing you back like this, I'm like, oh, I like it a lot. Like, but
man, I was.
But this is cool.
Cute.
Like, yeah, this is cool though because I really like I feel like sometimes you get like super busy especially with kids, and like, you know, we're like planning for our third one to be coming, and just like trying to get the house ready and trying to get the rooms ready and everything like that, painting and cleaning. And so like I think this is cool because it gave us like a setting to like just talk, and
it's different from like, obviously when we first started doing YouTube, it's not like where we're like, oh, we're gonna be these famous people. We just did it for fun. And it was always like, oh, let's do a song, do a song, and then like, oh, okay, let's record a little bit of our day. And then like, then we stopped, and like we kind of like started incorporating our kids, like just what they do, like, but this is different, which is cool because I feel like we're in a different, not saying like, oh, we wouldn't do a song if we wanted to, but I feel like it's different. Like I like it.
And like it's cool now because like these videos, like even if there's not like a ton of people like watching them, our kids watch these.
Oh my gosh, and they're like intrigued by it. They're like, I want to watch it again.
They'll always be like, put the video from Disneyland, and they like watch themselves, or like
they're like, why was I following Woody? I'm like, oh my gosh.
And then Emery will be like, where's the videos of me? So we're like, we need to put her in, you know, we need to like do some more videos. I think it's really cool, and it's like fun. It's really fun. But I like this because it was just like a little,
and it's different.
And
then like you said, even talking, like asking the questions and then talking, I'm like, oh, it makes me think of what I was like. Oh, I'm like we talk about this stuff, like the parenting stuff, but I'm like stuff we might say here.
I think more in this like interview type, or like, you know, whatever you want to call it, like podcast type setting, it just like allows you to speak a little bit more freely than like, you know what I mean? Like just like in passing or...
And I think because the kids are asleep right now too, we're not like trying to talk and then one's like asking us for something. Like we're like, hold on. So... But
it's cool to do like a long form like conversational video, and like if you guys like it or if you get anything from it, give a thumbs up or a comment or something like that. Because I mean,
if my son was there, he'd be like and subscribe.
He's all like and subscribe. He's all, if you want more videos, click the description below. But I don't know. I think this is even something that we might just continue doing, because I think for the aspect of just like communicating, and even how we're like asking questions, like I think those things are really healthy just for like our relationship and stuff like that. Because we try and have like we'll have like marriage checkups or marriage check-ins that we'll like put on our calendar, and but even sometimes those we can like, oh, let's push it back a couple days just because we're super busy. But even just doing this, we are working on it, definitely. But like this was cool just to have questions for each other, and you know, like and
it's just different. Like
reminds me of like Fireproof is like, he's like study your wife, because I mean like having these types of questions, it's like cool to think back and like kind of see where
how much we've grown, or where we're definitely at a different, and not like in a bad, but like we've grown,
and not just like in our life as far as like, okay, we have kids now, but you know,
in marriage, like there's so
like
much
in our marriage, like
between, or that you
like we got married, we were 23, and I'm not saying like we're like old or
we're not,
anything
but we're
now,
almost 30.
But
so,
I know we're gonna be 30 next year. But like 23-year-olds, like no kids, you know, apartments, like, you know, we have a kid, we buy our first place, and you know, then we go through that whole process, and then we've had a second kid, sold that house, buy a new house, and
now we're having a third kid.
Moved towns twice, like through that time, like Southern California, Northern California, back, you know. But my eye just got stuck. But like just seeing us
grow, young, but I feel like we're like old.
I know. But just like seeing us grow through that in our marriage, and like even in our ministry, and just like it's cool just being able to serve with you and to worship together, and but also being able to like parent together and all that,
and like figuring it all out together.
You're still my best friend.
Good, I better be friends.
And I like that too. Like our kids will always be like, "You're my best friend, Mom," or "You're my best friend, Dad," or to their brother and sister, like, "You're my best friend." Yeah.
Emery Bub.
Yeah.
Best friend Bub.
Yeah, we you know, JB, we had started calling him Bubba just because that's what she was calling him, and then just recently she started calling him Bub. It's just so funny. She's like, "Yeah, where we going, Bub?"
She's so cute.
So this might be something that we continue doing, just like on the side of the channel, and like I'm still trying to post some stuff. Our kids are so content worthy, they want it, but it's just hard for me to like edit stuff and put it together and get all the clips and everything.
they'll probably get excited. He posted a video of them, so they'll watch.
Oh yeah, I did.
Like
we just
10
posted a
times.
video of them, so
They're the ones giving us all the views. Just kidding.
Anyway,
that's fine. I don't care. We're having fun.
Yeah, and it's for us too, so we're just happy to do it. But till next time.
Adios.
Bye.